These logos were supposed to enhance the brand. They didn't.
As we got closer to the end of the season, you could hear the fans chanting and no more fish sticks.
Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 ugliest North American professional sports team logos.
Let's gear up, LA! Come on, let's do this!
For this list, we're focusing specifically on logos from professional North American teams, which means that the University of Albany will be excluded, along with FC Santa Claus of Finland.
We all know the Santa Claus team. Yeah, even I don't care about soccer, but I know.
We're also excluding logos that have often been deemed racially offensive, because that's a whole other problem.
Don't you see that when you call your organization the Washington Redskins, it's offensive to us?
How is it offensive?
How is it offensive? Jesus!
Number 10, the Coyote of many colors, the Phoenix Coyotes.
They're going to the Arizona desert, and so tonight's game brings a sense of closure. We're losing something great to the land of cactus and coyotes.
When the Winnipeg Jets dissolved due to financial issues after 17 years in the NHL, the American Southwest became a hotspot for some good old-fashioned ice hockey.
What little bit I do know about hockey is it's a winter sport and we don't have much of a winter down here.
Sure, maybe Phoenix didn't seem like the most logical destination, but the artistic flavor of the region meant a top-notch logo would be inevitable.
Jenny is going, oh my, I'd love to have that chance again.
The result was a colorful coyote brandishing a hockey stick, designed in the Native American Kachina style. Unfortunately, some fans did not warm up to the multicolored coyote, which was seen more as an unfinished art project than as a fully realized logo. By 2003, the Coyotes had a new arena and a new logo, but they would revisit the Coyote of many colors again in the future.
And he scores!
Thing of beauty there.
Number 9, the year of the Cowboy, the Calgary Flames.
And here we go before the game is a minute old. Jerome McGinley punching the helmet, and now Tocchet springs that left free.
Back in 1980, the Calgary Flames debuted in their native Alberta, and nobody seemed to have an issue with their iconic Flaming C logo, a carryover from the Flaming A from their days in Atlanta. In fact, the easily identifiable look became an NHL classic. But 1998 was the year of the Cowboy, so the franchise introduced the flaming horse head logo for their alternate jerseys. It's not that the yellow-headed horse isn't striking, but many fans didn't quite understand the new look. That being said, the logo did manage to withstand public scrutiny and survived into the new millennium.
Maybe something happened back then. We've seen Morris now have 2 fights here.
Number 8, Nautical Roots, the Los Angeles Clippers.
Fans really said, hey, come on, signal it, give us the hope of a new era, give us a new name, give us a new look.
After the Donald Sterling fiasco of 2014, LA's less popular NBA team needed a change. Former Microsoft CEO Steve Ballmer purchased the franchise, and the Clippers proceeded to get rid of the existing giant basketball logo to connect with their nautical roots.
After a lot of blood, sweat, and a few tears, I proudly present to you
supposedly an attempt to add, quote, dimension and energy. The new logo was criticized by some fans who found it to be nothing more than a couple of squiggly lines, complemented by a noticeably smaller basketball. Regardless of the less than positive Twitter reaction, some people are suckers for bold outlines, even if the overall look had many Clippers diehards scratching their heads.
The 3-ball bingo! Chris Paul nails the 3!
Number 7. The Igloo, the Quebec Nordiques.
This is dangerous. Bell. Score!
For the early part of the 70s, the Quebec Nordiques made a successful run in the World Hockey Association. Once the WHA dissolved, the squad continued on in the NHL with a logo that was perhaps a bit too artsy for the average fan. Sure, the symbolism is there with the hockey stick, blue puck, and oddly shaped igloo, all formed in a vague N shape. But some felt it was too ambiguous and, frankly, elephant-like.
So they'll bring it back to the Quebec side of center ice.
The team must have known it was strange because they had a new logo lined up before they shipped off to Colorado in 1995. While many native Quebecers still sport the Igloo for nostalgia's sake, it remains a curious case in the history of logo design.
You want to watch Peter Stastny, he has been moving well tonight.
Number 6, the Stinger, the Columbus Blue Jackets.
It is a tremendous honor for me to be here to introduce to you your Columbus Blue Jackets.
Nowadays, the Columbus NHL franchise has embraced a sense of patriotism for their logo, drawing on Ohio's Civil War past. But that wasn't always the case. To be fair, the Stinger does feature some red, white, and blue flair, yet it still looks somewhat disturbed and ready to check somebody into the boards. And wasn't this character created to supposedly, quote, capture the spirit of Columbus? Nevertheless, this alternate logo was eventually squashed in favor of a more commercial aesthetic, as some suggested the Stinger symbol didn't exactly embody the spirit of a top-tier professional franchise. Some say it looks more like a comic book superhero than an iconic NHL badge, but it definitely created a buzz when it was unveiled.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and they have done a spectacular job of doing just that.
Number 5. The Shield, the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Westbrook in the lane, fading, tough angle, and it goes!
In 2008, the Seattle Supersonics relocated to become the Oklahoma City Thunder. To the good fortune of the Midwestern NBA franchise, they had one of the most promising young talents on their squad in Kevin Durant. Of course, while the team consciously avoided Thunder-related cliches, they developed a logo that didn't necessarily convey a youthful vibe. The team's 3-letter abbreviation is the central feature, with a basketball appearing slightly behind it, which does technically make sense given that they're a basketball team. A couple of stripes in blue and orange round out the logo, but do little to strengthen the shield-like shape. One has to wonder how such a design has survived, given the team's increasing success.
And the blue uniforms we worn on the road, Nick and Jeff are modeling those for us, and across the chest, Oklahoma City.
Number 4. The Fishermen, the New York Islanders.
Well, I don't think it was that horrible.
The New York Islanders were doing just fine, having won 4 consecutive Stanley Cups in the early 80s. Beloved by fans and synonymous with their success, their logo was iconic and featured the silhouette of Long Island along with a hockey stick and letter Y combo. But then came the dreaded rebrand. No, that's not Gorton's Fisherman as many have theorized, but rather just a fisherman with a love of hockey.
He just had no connection to hockey. He had a great connection to the history of Long Island in this area, but as far as hockey fans were concerned, again, he was more closely related to fish sticks than anything else.
New Yorkers could never quite get behind this logo, and after just a couple of years in existence, the emblematic fisherman was sleeping with the fishes. Maybe it was his strange coloring, or maybe it was his aggressive facial expression, but this one seemed destined to fail.
If I wore the fisherman jersey, we made the playoffs and I scored 30 goals, I'd say let's never change him again.
Number 3, the Crew, Columbus Crew SC.
I love soccer, it's about time I got here in Columbus, and it's going to be here to stay.
When the Columbus Major League Soccer Club emerged in 1994, it seemed important to emphasize the blue-collar nature of the city. While some franchises prefer abstract logos, and others go with a more playful feel, the Columbus Crew used actual people. With the black and yellow palette becoming known as the Banana Kit, the shield itself was said to look more like a television advertisement or a Village People album cover than a reference to American sports. But these shadowy figures do look tough, and the Crew maintained a lasting presence in Columbus until a 2014 rebrand was adopted to match up with the evolving nature of the city.
And Francis for Kamara! You bet!
Number 2, the M, the Miami Marlins.
A new ballpark, a new name, a whole new look. Miami Marlins 2012.
Previously known as the Florida Marlins, the Major League Baseball team in Miami switched things up in 2012 by taking on the name of their home city.
It's hard to believe this day is here. We are officially the Miami Marlins.
Whereas the Florida Marlins had gone literal with their logo design, the Miami Marlins took a straight edge and multicolored approach for their new logo aesthetic. From a practical standpoint, it works. The vibrant M immediately sticks out with a color palette that represents the oceanside locale. But overall, many saw the logo as bland and somewhat boring. And that doesn't seem to vibe with the energy of MIA. It's a bold look for sure, but a more natural and organic design might have suited the team better.
Get your Miami Marlins gear. Are you in?
Before we unveil our number 1 pick, here are some honorable mentions.
Does he play under control enough? and not just as far as physically, but within the structure of a team game.
The season was one of growth for the Hurricanes. New faces were brought in, all-stars became leaders, and youth took center stage. Number 1, Maxie Minor, the Denver Nuggets.
Maxie the Minor.
In 1976, the Denver Nuggets joined the NBA after a merger with the American Basketball Association. Representing Colorado's mining history, the bearded basketball enthusiast featured on their logo conveyed all the excitement of what was to come. While it's undeniable that the logo showcased a vibrant energy, the team must have had a few better options. Even Maxie Minor's physical posture is off-putting to some, as this looks more like a mascot design than a team crest. The man's disproportionate arms give the impression of a rough draft that somehow got approved. Beloved by some, reviled by others, this logo made it all the way into the 80s before being replaced by a variation of the current logo.
Dan Issel with the fake, drives on Webster and scores.
Do you agree with our list? Which North American professional sports team logo do you think is the ugliest? For more sports-themed top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
No, we cannot give up. We have been through too much together. We have fought Eagle and Bear. The Eagles only beat us by 3 points.
Yeah, but I just feel stupid wearing this now.